Hello everyone, this is Grace. It is July the 1st, 2022, and today we're going to be taking another look at the biblical definition of a day. We're also going to be changing our format a little. We're going to be breaking this topic down into secondary topics. There's going to be more videos, but I think it'll be easier to go back and find something if you should want to look at them again for something specific. So we're going to have more videos, but they'll just be smaller. And some of them may be in 5 or 10 minutes. But let's go ahead and get started. We'll start from here. He answered and said unto them, When it is evening, ye say, It will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning, it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky, but can ye not discern the signs of the times? Now I have a little cheat sheet here that I'm going to bring on. So let's go ahead and bring that on. So we were looking for the words, 4594, and I skipped this one. I didn't highlight it, but it's 4404. So 4594 means this day, the current day or morning. And then 4044 means early evening, noon. So it means noon. So let's go ahead and substitute the common terminology. And at noon, it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. So that's what that says when you interpret the times into today's language. Now, I didn't interpret all of the terms in the Bible, all of the definitions. Some of them were used only once, and then others were fairly easy to understand. I didn't bother with those, but the ones that were used the most often, and then some that caused a little bit of trouble in understanding those, I worked those out and created the reference sheet there. Watch ye therefore, for ye know not when the master of the house cometh, at even, or at midnight, or at the cock's crowing, or in the morning. Now let me just start off by telling you that this word is not the correct word for this sentence. You can see the timeline that's here. It's establishing even at 6 o'clock, then midnight, 12, cocks crowing at 6 a.m., and then the noon hour. Now, I'm going to cover this word in the next video though, so I'm going to leave it because this word can be 6 o'clock. What it really means is from 3 till 6. So it can be used at 6 o'clock, but it's not the proper word to use. So, but you'll see that in the next video and why I say that. So we have from 6 to midnight. This is actually a timeline, a time frame. It's not the cock's crowing. It's not a general term. It means the third watch. In the Bible, you have the cock's crow, that is the third night watch. You have 4 watches. You have the night watch, and then you have the morning watch. The night watch is going to be from midnight until noon. So you'll have 3 to 6 to 9 to noon. Those are the 3 watches. So the third watch is going to be from 6 a.m. until 9 a.m. And then the fourth watch will be from 9 a.m. to 12 a.m. And of course, the first watch is from midnight till 3, and then the second is from 3 to 6. So here we have from 6 a.m. We have 6 a.m. to 9, and then here we have, we're going to use 6, but it should be from 6 to 9, but it's from 3 to 6, but it's not right. And I'll explain that later. And then, of course, we have noon. So that's what that says. And Jesus said unto him, Verily I say unto thee, that this day, even in this night, before the cocks crow twice, thou shalt deny me thrice. This day we just looked up. It's in the proper terminology. Even in this night, 3571, that does mean night. But we'll look at it anyway. 3571, it means night. And it's used properly as well. Or when I say properly, I mean in common day language. And the second time the cock crew, and Peter called to mind the word that Jesus said unto him, before the cock crowed thrice, thou shalt deny me thrice. And when he thought thereon, he wept. I'm establishing a timeline here, a bit of a timeline. So this is the last verse of chapter 14. And then the very next verse that comes along, it has the definitions that we want. And straightway in the morning, 4404, the chief priest held a consultation with the elders and scribes and the whole council, and bound Jesus and carried him away and delivered him to Pilate. So at noon, or I think there's another version that says around noon. I can't recall exactly. But at noon, they had this meeting. So if it started before noon, they were still going at noon, because this is noon. They held the meeting, and then after the meeting, they took him to Pilate. According as it is written, God has given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear, unto this day. So this word right here by itself means this day. We just looked that up. This 2250, that means a 24, it means day as well, but it wasn't needed there. So it's added because these are spiritual definitions. These are more the governmental terms that are used on a regular basis, but it added a spiritual element to this. So this is our day that we use. It can mean morning, it can mean 24-hour day. So he's saying, according as it is written, God has given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that should not see, and ears that should not hear, unto this day. The day letting us know that it's going to come to an end at the end of this spiritual day. So near the end, the people of God are going to be able to see the truth. The ones that are resurrected are going to be able to see the truth. It puts the spiritual aspect in there in regards to this day. But otherwise, it wouldn't be needed at all. Or spiritual or prophetic, however you want to look at it. And they laid hands on them and put them in hold until the next day, for it was now eventide. This means we'll look it up together. So we have 8:39 and 2073. So 8:39 tomorrow, and then 2073 means dark. Did I? Yeah, okay. So eventide, there is another word for eventide. It just means hour. It's more of a spiritual thing as well. But this one just means dark. 2073. So, and they laid hands on them and put them in hold until the next day. Until the next day or tomorrow. For it was now dark. Let's continue on. But they constrained him, saying, Abide with us, for it is toward even, and the day is far spent. And he went in to tarry with them. So toward, I don't think we need to look this up. I think it means toward, but just in case. In the direction forwarded to, yeah. So it's near. 2073 means dark. It's near dark. Just so you know, in this video, I'm taking up the cause that The day begins at noon. No, it's to be specific, high noon. There is a scripture, I think it's Jeremiah 4:9, I can't recall. It's in the previous video, where it says that the shadow grows long in the evening time at the beginning of the new day. And that after high noon, the shadow starts to grow longer. That fits the biblical description. And when you go through and you try to make sense of these words, trust me when I tell you, I didn't want to believe it at first. I believed it, I thought anyway. But what I would do is I would start studying, and then halfway through the study, without me even realizing what I was doing, I would start studying against myself, literally working against myself to try and prove something that I knew was not true, because I was just doing it kind of, I wasn't really thinking that much about it. But the next thing you know, instead of trying to find supportive evidence for a noonday, I started trying to find supportive evidence for a sunset, and it wasn't working. And I spent a couple of days trying to get that, and finally I realized it's just wrong. It doesn't fit any of the scriptures, and I had to let it go. Once I let it go, everything started coming in and fitting together quite nicely. But I had to get past that hurdle first. It's just confusion until then. Let's continue on. John 1:29. The next day, John seeth Jesus coming unto him, and saith, Behold, the Lamb of God, which taketh away the sin of the world. So we're familiar with this word as next day, 1887. It means the morning, the following morning. Here we go. The following morning, daylight portion of the next day, or the same day. So if you said it afternoon, in the daylight portion of the noon, and you said morrow, then it is the following morning of the same day. However, if they use that term in the daylight portion before noon, then it is the daylight portion of the next day. And it can mean either one. It is the following morning is what it is. Okay? So let's continue on. Oh, let's skip something. On the next day, much people that were come to the feast, when they heard that Jesus was coming to Jerusalem. So something's missing there, but we're not going to worry about that right now. It's an incomplete sentence. I remember reading it and thinking, what's wrong with that sentence? But I was just marking up things then. I didn't even notice it. But obviously there's part of that sentence that's missing. But we just looked this up. Next day, the following morning. So that's good. Either there's something missing or it could be a translation. I found a lot of translation problems in the New Testament. I didn't find a whole lot of changes, but I found a lot of things that were translated improperly. I don't know. And when they had appointed him a day, there came many to him into his lodging, to whom he expounded and testified the kingdom of God, persuading them concerning Jesus both out of the law of Moses and out of the prophets, from morning till evening. Morning, that means noon, till evening, 2073 means dark. From noon until dark. And you can test all of these. Because they won't work. They only work as far as I can make them work. They won't work any other way. Even that one that I mentioned to you before, that, man, it gave me so many problems because it worked in almost all of the scriptures. But then you'd run into this one, maybe two problems, and then I would be like, what is going on here? So, yeah, that one took me a minute because it worked so well, because it actually encompasses the time zone, but it's not the best fit. It's not. And it won't work if you try it with every scripture that way. And when they had heard that, they entered into the temple early in the morning and taught. But the high priest came, and they that were with him, and called the council together, and all the senate of the children of Israel, and sent to the prison to have them brought. So we're looking for early in the morning, 3722 and 5259. 3722 is dawn or early morning. So that's actually dawn, and then we'll look this one up. 5259. Under, that is, so right before dawn. So at dawn. And when they had heard that, they entered into the temple at dawn and taught. And we don't have to read all of that. That's what it's saying there. I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day. The night cometh when no man can work. 2250, we just looked that up, I think. It's the morning or a 24-hour day. It's the same way we use our word for day. I must work while it's daytime. The night cometh, which means night, when no man can work. So this, we can understand this perfectly because the language of the Bible is the common language that we use today. And as soon as it was day, the elders of the people and the chief priests and the scribes came together and led him into their council, saying, okay, this is when they took Jesus. And as soon as it was day, 2250, morning or 24-hour day. So this right here changes the meaning of times here. This actually tells you that something is about to come. It's similar to the word that we just looked up before, where it was saying as dawn came, as and through dawn they went through. It was, hold on, I just looked it up. Of course it's not there. The one we looked up for dawn. It's similar in that this, let's just look it up and then I'll tell you what it is as we look it up together. This is to cause to be, to come into being. So it's about to be day. It's about to become dawn, is what it's saying. It's not yet dawn. It's still dark outside, is what it's saying. As soon as it was dawn, because it can't be dawn and dawn can't be coming. So this is still dark. The one we looked at before, dawn was there as. Let me look it up again because I can't recall. I can't recall the word. Early in the morning. So while dawn was coming and before, because it's through dawn, below, when, among, by, in, under, but it has under there, see? So it has to be before and during. So while dawn came, while it approached, that's why I said as. So as dawn came, they taught. and then through dawn as well, because it's under and through. But the high priest came while they were teaching, and that they that were with him, and called the council together, and all the senate of the children of Israel, and sent to the prison to have them brought. So it's a little bit different in that this word is going to place your time before, in the case where it's mentioned before, or after in the case where it is mentioned after. So it's going to be as before dawn, or if it was after, it would be after dawn. But you wouldn't say after dawn, you just say morning. But that's the way this word is used. It changes the time. So this is before dawn. As soon as it was before dawn, the elders of the people and the chief priests and the scribes came together and led him into their council, saying, and then questioning him. For the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is an householder, which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard. So let me see. I put this in here in case we had time to do it, but I think I'm going to stop here because there's one more verse I want to do. We'll do this in the next video. No, let's go ahead and do it now. I don't know. Let's do the next video, the next verse first, and then if I have time, we'll come back to that. Jesus answered, Are there not 12 hours in the day? If any man walk in the day, he stumbleth not, because he seeth the light of this world. But if a man walk in the night, he stumbleth, because there is no light in him. So I put this in here because it establishes a mindset which is approached throughout the Bible of the 12-hour day. When I first saw it, I thought that it was establishing a time, because this is the same area where I taught the equinox. So I thought he was establishing the 12-hour day in order to establish the equinox. But I think a better use for this verse is that in the Bible, there's a picture of this. There's this kind of imaginary picture of a clock. And from midnight until noon, the sun is actually getting lighter. There's more light coming upon you. So you're getting more light. It's getting lighter. It's getting lighter until you reach the pivot at noon. And that's the most light, of course. So then at noon in the evening time, the sun is going away from you, figuratively, of course, and it's getting darker and darker and darker and darker until you reach the pivot, which would be midnight. And so that picture is being drawn throughout the Bible as a spiritual picture of light and darkness, and also the time of work during the saints. Okay, now that said, we'll go ahead and try to do this last verse, and hopefully we'll have time to get it done. Oh, hold on. That's there. Okay, yeah, okay. For the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is an householder, which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard. And when he had agreed with the laborers for a penny a day, he sent them into his vineyard. And he went out about the third hour, and saw others standing idle in the marketplace, and said unto them, Go ye out into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right I will give you. And they went their way. Again he went out about the 6th and 9th hour, and did likewise. And about the 11th hour he went out, and found others standing idle, and said unto them, Why stand ye here all the day idle? They said unto him, Because no man has hired us. He said unto them, Go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right ye shall receive. So when even was come, the Lord of the vineyard said unto his steward, Call the laborers, and give them their hire, beginning from the last unto the first. And when they came that were hired about the 11th hour, they received every man a penny. But when the first came, they supposed that they should receive more, and they likewise received every man a penny. And when they had received it, they murmured against the good men of the house, saying, These last have wrought but 1 hour, and thou hast made them equal unto us, which have borne the burden and heat of the day. But he answered one of them and said, Friend, I do thee no wrong. Didst not thou agree with me for a penny? Take that thine is, and go thy way. No one's going to be happy. I think that's funny because it's a picture of the end time. So, all the workers that are there are going to be like, hey, we've been working forever. Who are these people? They just showed up at the last minute. They get saved too. But, hey, and then you have never mind, we'll continue on. Take that thine is, and go thy way. I will give unto thee last, even as unto thee. I will give unto this last, even as unto thee. Is it not lawful for me to do what I will with mine own? Is thine eye evil, because I am good? So the last shall be first, and the first last, for many be called, but few chosen. Okay. So let's look at this word. Well, we know what this word is. We know this word means noon. That's 4404, and we can use our cheat sheet, noon, or dawn of the noonday. So this word here, we need to look this up. 260. Anytime now. It's properly at the same, and figuratively it's the same time, but freely used as a preposition or adverb denoting close association, also and together with. It's used 9 times. We'll look at it. We'll look it up. I think the other times though it's used differently, but basically what it means is the same time as the noon hour. It's just a crafty way of saying midnight, is what it's saying. So here it says with, this is our example here, and at the same time, that would be correct. Together, that's the way it's usually used. And then you have with all, together, with all. But here it's using it as the same time. But what the description means at the same time. This is the description, but they use it as together or with. I'm not sure if this is right. I didn't check all of those, but I know the quote unquote same time as noon is midnight. And that's the way this should be translated. So at midnight, he went out and he hired the laborers. He first went at 3, the first watch. Then he went at 6, the second. Then he went at 9, and then he went at 11, right before the close of the day. And then I've already mentioned to you about, hold on a moment. When even was come. We're going to talk about this in the next video. But again, this is not used correctly. This word even is afternoon. It is the close of the morning or the evening. So it's going to be from 12 till 3 or from 6 p.m. till 9 p.m. This would have been the correct word for the other it would have been the correct word. So it's used incorrectly here. And because it's with come is added, it would lean more toward the 3 p.m., closer to 3 p.m. than 12 p.m. So it's not used correctly. We're going to leave it because it can still be 12, just like the other one. But just like the other word, it can be used that way, but it's not grammatically correct. And we'll go over that in the next video. So this is giving you an outline of the last days and the last day workers. That's included, by the way. And then in the end, where we all come together and we receive our reward, or we get to go to heaven, however you want to look at it. Anyway, that's what this means. I thought that was a little tricky, so I figured I'd go over it. Anyway, we're at 30 minutes, so I'm going to close out there, and I will talk to you in the next video.